Patreon Q&A number 40. I want to thank all 70 of my patrons, especially the new ones that have just joined within like the last week or so. Thank you so much, guys. Also, we made it. The channel is now in good standing. And I say we because I haven't really felt alone through this process because you guys have been there and supporting me the whole time. And that really means more to me than you know. And thank you so much. So yes, the channel is going to go in a different direction from this point on, but just not yet. And those of you on Patreon were able to read that update I gave you, but as for everyone else, I'll make a channel update on what's going to happen as soon as I have everything figured out. I'm still working on some stuff, but I'll let you know as soon as I do. But other than that, there's going to be spoilers, as always, in these questions and answers, so tread carefully after this point. BigBadBrownBear asks, this is more of a theory than a question because King is such an interesting character. I'm inclined to agree with your stance on how OP his meta luck is, and so I've been deep diving as devil's advocate to find weaknesses he may have. So far, the only scenario I can imagine King losing is a battle with Sonic. Let's say someone in the Neo Heroes puts a hit out on King and Sonic takes the contract, not knowing who King is. Maybe his meta luck wouldn't have enough time to find a way through before decapitation by creepy grinning back tights ninja, and if it did, Sonic's nature to obsess over murdering him would lead to countless encounters between the two. So this is actually something I've heard a lot, people just assuming that, King can die at the hands of Speed. Like in other instances it was Flashy Flash or somebody else like this. And in your instance you're saying that Sonic doesn't know who King is, but I don't think that's likely. I assume that almost everyone knows who King is, and if they don't, they're still going to see him differently. Like when they encounter King, they're going to be intimidated by him because way more powerful characters and way faster characters than ninjas have had the opportunity to kill King. Like, let us not forget, King stared down four or five executives at once, and especially like even Golden S and Black S at the same time, and Golden S is many levels above Sonic. Like, he's in a completely different game than Sonic. So, and even he fell victim to King's charisma and the spell that he puts out on people. So I definitely assume that Sonic would fall to this, and he wouldn't even attempt to kill King, or he would get diarrhea or something, because that's like a common thing with Sonic, even though it hasn't just been spontaneous. Just something like that would happen. But just for the sake of your question here, and assuming that Sonic doesn't know who King is, I assume that something would happen to Sonic before he was even able to hit King. Like, maybe he trips on his way to going to kill King, or maybe pulls a muscle or something. And yeah, this seems kind of cheap, but there's nothing that has shown us that King can be killed or defeated at this point. And until that time comes, I have to assume that King is unbeatable, essentially. Because, like, all of the instances where King could have been killed, he has not. Either his luck has stopped him from doing it, or his luck has pulled someone like Saitama or Genos or Garo or Fubuki to come and help him fight for him. So until King has shown any kind of vulnerabilities, aside from when the Octopus Man slashed him, which in my theory awakened his powers, until something like that happens, I don't see any instances of somebody defeating him, especially like Sonic. But hey, if you feel that, go for it, because there's tons of people out there who don't even believe King has any powers, and then he's just a pure gag character. So it's all good. Joseph K. asks, hey Shonen, did you get a chance to watch the highlights from the Tyson Fury versus Tom Schwartz fight? Thought it was pretty sweet. Very short, but a masterclass of technique from Fury. Oh, I definitely did, and it was awesome. It was one of the best performances that Fury had. I mean, like, he literally did the rope-a-dope in that fight. So incredible. And now I'm, like, even more so excited for his rematch with Wilder, especially since the hype train of Anthony Joshua has currently derailed. So it looks like the big fight in the heavyweight division now is going to be Fury and Wilder's rematch, and there's, like, arguments to be made that Fury won their original match. But, we'll see what happens in the next one. I'm super excited for it, and I hope it gets done sooner rather than later. Currently, do you get more excited for a new manga chapters because of the God tier art, or webcomic chapter because it's actually new content? I would say it's somewhere like an equal amount of excitement. Like, I'm super excited for the manga, of course, because of the art, and because it does have a different continuity than the manga, and there are new developments, and I just also want to see Murata's interpretation of the webcomic. But I'm also just as excited for the webcomic because the advancement of the story, like you said, but also because one has really improved and he's made his chapters the best they've ever been right now. So now I'm even more so excited than I was before for them. And then lastly, coming off of the awesome new chapter with Flashy Flash versus Sonic, which fight between characters in any Dragon Ball, One Punch, My Hero, etc. manga, anime are you the most excited for, or would you love to see happen in the near future? Thanks for the positivity and genuine joy you show in your reviews. Peace, man. Hey, thank you for your positivity. It's great to, get questions and stuff like this without somebody, trying to beef with me or something. Not saying that it happens on Patreon, but it does happen in the comments of my videos all the time, so I appreciate it. The one that I'm looking forward the most to right now is the War of Onigashima in One Piece. Basically, like, the big war that's going to happen at the end of Wano. Man, I am unbelievably excited for it, but it's taking so long to get there, as per the snail pace of One Piece. But Oda said that it's going to make Marineford look cute or something like that, and I believe him because the War of Onigashima, just on paper right now, it's going to be, the Beast Pirates led by Kaido, the Calamities, versus the Straw Hats, Samurai, Mink, Ninja Alliance, but now they have the Yakuza with them. And then we can't, of course, forget that Big Mom's in there with the crew that she brought. And Jinbei is probably going to come back too. And there's the possibility of Kizaru coming there too. It's going to be amazing, and I really hope that we get to it at least this year. I assume we'll reach that part of the story, at least the beginning of it, or like around the holiday season. So that's definitely what I'm looking forward to the most. Johndoe asks, so I was wondering what you think the Tai power dynamic between Bang and Garo was. Which one is the better genius? At least in my opinion, this area is complex and not entirely clear, as no one could argue that Bang, even in abandonment, would beat Awakened Garo. Yet I feel Bang dominates Garo in terms of pure martial art prowess. Before, during, and after the Monster Association arc, is Bang inferior in combat because of his old age, or would he still lose during his prime? Is Garo more of a genius because he is not only is able to proficiently use Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist, but also can pick up many skills along the way, like the Whirlwind Iron Cutting Fist? But Bang thoroughly mastered Water Stream and is an absolute beast against anyone. If Bang went through the same character arc as Garo, would he be able to attain more power than Awakened Garo, or does Garo have something that Bang doesn't? And would that make Garo more of a genius than Bang, or just more talented? So like you said, it's difficult to answer this question, but based off of the hype and the emphasis of Garo being a genius that is put on him throughout the series, I'm going to assume that he probably has more potential and was probably gifted with more talent than Bang, just because the same kind of emphasis is not put on Bang the way that it is in Garo. Now, of course, the emphasis that is put on Bang is that he is a master. Like, he's a master among masters. So I think I don't think one is better than the other. I think they're just different. Like, Bang, he perfected his martial art and became super powerful that way, rather than Garo, who took, like, an eclectic route and gathered all of different fighting styles and became super powerful that way. It's difficult to really say who is above other. I would say maybe they're equal, possibly in terms of potential and talent, because Murata says that when Bang was in his prime at the age of 30 years old, he was unstoppable, and I take that as literally unstoppable, almost to the point of where no one could beat him. Maybe the only person who could see, him in a even fight would maybe be Blast at that time, especially the more info that we got on Blast recently, which hyped him up even more. But along with the hype put on Garo, I'm going to say that, maybe they have a similar ceiling. But if you're trying to say, like, Bang going through the same arc, meaning that if he were to have, like, an awakened monster form, kind of like Garo, would he be more powerful? I'm not sure. Maybe they would have similar strengths, possibly. I mean, also, Garo is 18, and we don't really know what Bang was like when he was 18. I assume that he wasn't as skilled as Garo, and maybe that plays into Garo having more talent and more potential than Bang, because it was established he was in his prime at 30. We don't know if this is Garo's prime, if he's hit his ceiling, we don't know. But until we get more answers, for now I'll say they're somewhat comparable in that degree. Kinbaryu asks, hey Big Z, hope you're doing okay, buddy. Me and the others on the server are always here to support you, and we're definitely happy for your recent update on Patreon too. Something that I thought would be fun would be having a schedule where you decide when you would be on the server, like maybe every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. If that's too much for your schedule, though, I completely understand. Hey, no, it's not. I actually was kind of doing something with that, but this was before you had become a patron personally. I had scheduled this time for us to go on Rabbit, you know, that service where you can like chat with people and watch stuff together, and that was pretty fun, but it kind of fell off after a few weeks. But this is something that I'm very interested in, and I know that a lot of you guys are too. But as for the schedule, it's not really up to me. It's up to everyone because, and I see that Thursday from 6 to 7 works for you, but I just want to make sure that if I do establish this meetup hangout thing, I just want to make sure that it works for everyone because we're all coming from different places in the world. And, you know, we all have crazy different time schedules. So I am going to work on this. I do want this to be an aspect of Patreon. But I just, you know, just give me a little bit more time and I will make this happen. Oh, and thanks for checking up on the channel that one time. I do have a new video up that I'm a bit more proud of. I don't really know if you or your viewers would like this kind of stuff. Here it is anyways, because why not? So I did see your video and it's great. You're definitely coming along with your editing skills. I mean, if you haven't been able to check out this channel called Trash, with like Japanese letters after it, one of my favorite channels. It promotes music videos like this, not so much this genre, which I'll get into, but more so like trap and trap metal and stuff like that. They also promote up-and-coming rappers and stuff like that too. Big fan of Trash and what he does. I love the community and the channel that he's built, especially the aesthetic that he has, like some of the best merch in the game. But as for your video, that I actually know that song. I don't remember the name of it, but I did hear it in a City Pop soundtrack that I was listening to, because, you know, City Pop has become pretty popular recently, and my love of Vaporwave has led me naturally to go into City Pop, since City Pop is like a derivative of Vaporwave, so I like that song. I'm not so much a fan of the Dragon Maid show, because I'm just a battle anime dude, battle anime and manga. I'm not saying anything against it, it's just not my cup of tea, but yeah, if you guys like Dragon Maid and AMVs, you know, that are nicely edited, please feel free to check it out. I'll have the link to this video in the description. And you've been hinting at some plans for us, so I'm excited to see them. I think fresh content is a great idea, since others in the server agree with me that we don't want to see you get burnt out. Anyways, later, Z. So yeah, I do have big plans for the channel coming along. My ultimate idea for what I want to do, at least for the rest of this year, is to try to get double uploads out every day. So don't get worried, it's not going to burn me out. So I did get burned out once on this channel, and it was last year. But it was only after I literally daily uploaded every single day for 5 months. And then I got to the point of where I just felt that it was detrimental for my mental health, at least, to go any further without taking a break. And after that, I've been a little, you know, easier with the way that I've been on the channel. But I'm hungry to go back and just go into those daily uploads. And some of you are like, oh, boo-hoo. But yeah, of course, this isn't like a physical task, uploading and going through all this stuff every day. But it is a mental workout. You know, every single day for 8 hours at least, you know, sometimes that you got to read, take in so much knowledge, so much research, all the editing, all the speaking, making sure that everything comes out right, and then all of the other stuff that goes into it. It's a pretty arduous task to go through every single day without a break. So I'm going to go as far as I can, but if I get burned out, you know, I'm definitely going to take a break, because burnout is real, and I wish things were like Saitama, where you could just go for 3 years straight, and if you just overcome, you know, the adversity that comes with that, you could just break through and go past your limiter and become stronger like that. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way for us, and we do have to take breaks, or else it will just be detrimental to us in the long run. But, you know, thanks for your support, Kinbaryu. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Once again, I want to thank all 70 of my incredible patrons, and if you would like to be in next week's Q&A, just simply check out my Patreon. The $5 tier will give you access to this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe as well, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.